It's fine. Okay. Hi guys. So I'm Ashley. I feel like, if I'm speaking somewhere else, I would definitely do like an introduction and tell you who I am. But I think you guys know I'm the owner of Ashley Faye Designs and the co-owner of Embrace Your Ambition. I have 3 little girls, Carrington, Kensington, and Kennedy. And I'm an Army wife, or at least I was. We recently got him out of the Army and he still does National Guard. So I guess I'm still an Army wife. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. But really, I want to start off today, you guys, and just honor my mom, my guardian angel. She passed away 11 years ago, but her legacy lives on in me every single day. It is the most important gift that she's probably given me is my foundation of faith, is knowing that God will receive me with open arms, right? And so when she was sick, when my mom got very ill with stage 4 colon cancer, no matter how sick she was, no matter how often she wanted to rest and couldn't do the things that she wanted to do, she wanted to be with me and Lace all the time and take us places. She always said, always have faith. That 3 words constantly, consistently to Lacey and I. Always have faith. It didn't matter if she was sick. It didn't matter if she was down that day. It didn't matter if we were down that day. We had it instilled in us to always have faith, no matter how hard things got. And so she planted this seed in me, a seed that would grow and change not only my life, but everyone I'm impacting. And so it's always been very important for me that penny sight singer Howder, the words always have faith, continue to live on. And that's what I want to talk to you guys today, is sometimes that faith wavers. Sometimes that faith is really difficult to find. And sometimes we're in our darkest moments and all we can do is have faith. And I get that it's difficult. Maybe you're in a season right now and it's hard for you. Maybe you're questioning things. Maybe you feel like God's not seeing you. And I need to tell you that I have been there. I have questioned him. I have been angry with him. And I have thought, you don't see me. Like, look, your child is here and I'm trying to have faith, but you're not seeing me. And maybe you're there. And that's why I want to hit for you today, because I know how hard that is, but I want you to know that God is still there and he still sees you and he wants to accept you with these open arms. And so when I'm in those moments like that and I'm questioning God and all of the things, I know he hears me. But one thing I have learned, you guys, is not only does he hear me, he will respond. He will speak to me. He will nudge me. And I have learned that God speaks in whispers. He's often not the loud voice that we hear. Normally for me, and this might be true for many of you, the loud voice I hear is the voice that is self-doubt and fear and telling me that I can't do things. That's the loud voice. God isn't that voice. God is that whisper. God is that nudge. I call these my God promptings. I know you guys have heard me say it before. My God promptings, my God promptings. Those are those little moments that you have in your head and in your heart where you hear God. You feel the nudge. And I know you guys have heard me say before, how you respond to those God promptings is what will make or break you. That's been a really hard thing to learn, because let me tell you, he has prompted me to do things that I don't think I should have been doing at the time. Now looking back, I'm totally like, oh man, why didn't I just say yes at the beginning? But we all get them. Sometimes they're really hard for us to distinguish. Often they're not. Often we feel them in our hearts, but fear and self-doubt take over. And so one of the biggest God promptings I've had, I mean, you guys, of course, know the God prompting of -54 and to go all in on my business. And I actually said no to that one at first because at that time, I didn't understand the God promptings. I didn't understand that I'm supposed to say yes, regardless of how I'm feeling. I let my feelings kind of take control. And so I kind of said no for a lot of years. I think that's what led to that feeling of brokenness and stuckness and knowing I was meant for more, but never doing anything about it because of the loud voice, the self-doubt, and the fear, instead of following those small God promptings that were in my heart. But one God prompting that I think had such a major shift for me was one night when I was doing a glitter live. If you watch Ashley Faye Designs, you guys know what my glitter lives are. I glitter tumblers. I don't anymore, but I did. And we called it our behind the scenes live. And I was just glittering away. And at this point, things were going really well for the business, but someone popped in and they said, "How did you get started?" My first instinct, as most people would, is to tell them how I'd been doing this for over a decade, right? Kind of share the business knowledge, share how I'm, an expert. But then on my heart, I felt God tell me to tell them about the story of negative $54. And I took a breath, and for the first time, I thought, I'm not going to say no. I'm just going to let God speak through me in this moment and just let this God prompting happen. And so I started to share with them how I sat down at my kitchen table and I had that negative $54 in my bank account. And when I got off that live, like y'all, I was crying. I'm like hot messing it up on this live. And so there's a lot running through my head. But I continued. And after I got off, I walked upstairs. I'm still crying. Brian's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I think I messed up. I think that none of these people are going to see me as a business person anymore." Because I just shared with them how awful I was at money and how, we hit negative $54. And I really thought I messed up. I really thought people would see me differently. I really thought that I was going to have judging eyes on me, right? And I had followed this God prompting. So I'm thinking, again, at this point, like this was one of the first God promptings that I realized it was a God prompting, right? And so I'm thinking like, why not say yes? Like, what am I doing? But I woke up the next morning and I had so many women telling me that they're in that place right now. And it was an inspiration and motivating and all of these things. And it was like, okay, God, I see what you did there. And so after that, AFD really kind of exploded. My business really, really took off. Financially, things were going great. It was such a blessing for my family. But I knew in my heart of hearts, I was meant for something a little more, because my mom always told me she said, "You're meant for more. Always have faith." Those were the two things she just ingrained into my memory bank, right? And so I realized I wanted to share my story. I wanted to keep sharing the 54 story. And now you guys see 54 everywhere. It's a sign of courage and hope and that you can do this, right? But in my mind, I thought, I'm just like every other woman, right? And so if I can show them what I have accomplished by letting God into my business, by following the God promptings, then I can help them. I can inspire others to do the same. And so that's what I did. I started sharing my story consistently. And I kept wanting to be on stages. And I remember praying and like, "Lord, are you going to, put me on a stage soon? Come on." And he very distinctly said, "Yes, your own stage." And that was another God prompting for me of, okay, I have no flipping idea how to create a conference, but let's go. Okay. And so I created Embrace Your Ambition, not knowing what I was doing. That's the key here, is that when I got these God promptings, I created a purpose journal. I created a devotional. Every God prompting that has been thrown my way or given to me that I've heard him say, it was never about me knowing how to do something. If it was about me knowing how to do something, it would have been something along business. I can run a business. You know what I'm saying? It was never that. It was always things I didn't know how to do. But isn't that what he does? He gives us these God promptings of things that seem so out of reach, things that we think we could never do, because that's how he shows up and he uses us, because then the glory goes to him, right? And so ultimately now I feel like I have fully stepped into the thought process of whatever the God prompting is, I'm going to say yes. whatever he asked me to do. Like, here I am, I'm your Deborah, use me. And so that's what I want to instill in you guys, is that so often many people are waiting for God to make a move. They're waiting for him to show them what they're supposed to be doing. Hear this. God's waiting for you. We have a saying in our house. It's called get your feet wet, because we often come to a crossroads and we need to make a decision. And we're like, where's the sign, God? Show me the sign. He's not going to give it to you. He wants the sign that you have enough faith to step out and do the dang thing. He wants to see you take the first step, and then the sign will follow. And so when you feel that God prompting in your heart, when you hear that small whisper, stop backing down. Don't let fear and self-doubt get in the way, because like I said earlier, how you respond to the God promptings are what will make or break you. And I know you're sitting there and you have all this worry and all this self-doubt in your head that's holding you back, and all this fear, and you're thinking, maybe it's not me. It can't be me. I'm not the person. I'm not the one. I know this because I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. I still have those doubts creeping in my head. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, God, it can't be me. I'm not the right person. And you're waiting right now in this moment for a sign, for your God prompting to come, for you to know, okay, now it's time for me to take my faith. Well, listen, right now, this is it. I am your God prompting. It's happening in this moment. This is your time. This is your time to shine. This is your time to step into who you are made to be. This is your moment. I'm telling you that God told me to tell you that this is it. This right here is your God prompting. Whatever that thing is in your heart, hear me. You're the one for the job. It's not Marcus. It's not me. It's you. You are the one for the job. That's why it's in your heart. So right here, right now, I'm telling you, I'm your God prompting. This is your sign in this moment. So today, do something. Take a step in that direction. Do something that says, here I am, Lord. Use me. I'm stepping out. I'm getting my feet wet. Let's go.